Hello, sister. I'm going to try and do this all in one take because I don't feel like editing, as I obviously haven't felt like editing for the last 2 weeks, which is fine. I don't even care. So I really liked your video. I know you were like half asleep, and I liked it because you were half asleep, because it made me really proud that you continued to make the video despite the fact that you obviously needed to go to bed. So I'm happy about that. Thank you for doing that. And I'm looking forward to your video tomorrow because I would like to know what's been going on, because I know it's been very stressful for you, and that's something that concerns me, so I want to know. Yesterday was weird, and today is weird too. Yesterday was a shit day, right? I had a total case of the Mondays. I was on campus for something like 12 hours. My phone service died in the middle of it, and I didn't realize it until it was too late for me to go anywhere and do anything about it, so I kind of just had to go on a wing and hope that I would somehow get in touch with Mom, because she was picking me up because I'd loaned her the car, because I thought it was kind of a waste to have the car sitting in the parking lot for 12 hours. I still think it's a waste. It was just kind of frustrating trying to find somebody who would loan me their phone so I could call her and be like, hey, this happened to my phone, please don't freak out, and I'll meet you, where I'll meet you, and stuff like that. And that was just, it was embarrassing, to say the least. But yeah, so I got home and I was just in a mood. I was in a total case of the Mondays mood, as you were saying. And I was sitting at the computer, and Mom sits down and she goes, oh, is there anything you want to talk about? No. Are you sure? Yeah. Are you positive? Well, and then I proceeded to talk your ear off for 2 hours about all kinds of things that were concerning me that I didn't necessarily know were concerning me about the day. I felt like it was just, about having a shit day. Turned out there were a lot of other things underneath that. Like all things in life, there's a lot more contributing to the way you feel than, just hitting a speed bump at the wrong speed or whatever. And one of the things that came out that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to talk about in this video, that I didn't really realize has been bothering me, but obviously has because of a lot of the emotions that it brought up, was the fact that after my event in November, in which I had a nervous breakdown, I kind of cut out a lot of things that were triggering for me, partially because I was afraid of them, which I need to work on, and also partially because they're very distracting in the wrong way. I know that in my therapy, my therapist prescribes that when I get scared, I sit with the anxiety, I let the anxiety wash over me, and instead of letting my compulsions take over, I let it exist, and then I distract myself with something else. And that's a good kind of distraction. The things that I'm talking about, like movies, music, books, TV, all these things at the time didn't feel like healthy distractions. They felt almost like poking the scratch, poking the wound. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was picking at something and just not letting it heal over, and it just felt unhealthy. And I realized that, and I decided, okay, well, I'm going to cut these things out of my life because I'm trying to get healthy, and I want to get better, and I feel like these are not contributing to that. So that's what I did. I cut out movies. I don't go to movies anymore right now. I don't watch TV shows for the most part, unless they're things like some cooking shows, because I love cooking shows on occasion. And I don't... Oh, and I also watch YouTube stuff occasionally. Not as much as I used to. And I don't read books, and I don't read magazines, and I don't do a whole lot of article reading, and I don't play video games, despite the fact that my Steam library is massive, and it's just a lot of things that I don't do, that I used to do, that a lot of my friendships are built on, that a lot of my social connections are built on, that a lot of my communities are built on, things that I used to participate in and connect to people with are built on these things that I no longer do. So now I feel very disconnected. I not only feel very disconnected, I also feel very boring. I'm bored with myself, because it's, not that I'm bored with myself, I'm just really bored with being scared, and I'm really bored with being constantly in a state of anxiety, and I'm really bored with the constant OCD thoughts, and I'm really bored having these things go over and over and over in my head and doing the same things over and over and over every day, and not being able to kind of have this level of variety in my life that I crave, that I also simultaneously feel a lot of anxiety about, obviously. So it's very frustrating to feel like a boring person, and to be bored with yourself. And on the one hand, I recognize that, yes, okay, I am bored with myself, but I'm also trying very hard to get well. My kitten wants to come and say hi. Oh, hi, baby. Okay, he's going to sit there. And simultaneously, I'm trying to get well, and I'm, trying to rebuild myself. Like, there's a lot of me that was kind of, broken down in this process because it wasn't built on a stable foundation. That's really what I need to point out, is that, like, it's broken because it wasn't quite stable enough to actually be a part of my life, and that's why when it came under extreme pressure, it didn't stand up to it. And so I'm trying to rebuild that on a stable foundation. And that takes up a lot of time and energy and a lot of my thought process every day. So I don't really have a lot to talk about for people, and that makes me feel bad. Like, it makes me feel like, I'm not trying to ignore my friends. I'm not trying to trivialize their daily lives. I'm not trying to, like, make them feel like their interests are boring. It's just when they talk about them, I feel really disconnected because that's not my life right now. My life is recovery. My life is figuring out my brain. My life is figuring out my limits, how far I can go and push myself every day to get a little bit better, a little bit more stable, a little bit more engaged in my brain and less afraid. And that takes up a lot of, like the space that OCD used to take up, that's what's taking up a lot of that space now. I mean, not that OCD doesn't take up space anymore, it obviously does. It's just that now I'm trying to fill the space that OCD used to take up with some more recovery-themed thoughts. And it makes me feel boring, because, like, I don't know who to talk about. Like, I can't, like, aside from you, there's not a whole lot of people that I can go, like, so today I decided to push myself, and I let one of my obsessive thoughts sit in my head for a total of 5 minutes, and it was insane and really scary, and I finally had to give in and do the compulsion, but this time was further than last time. And, people who don't know what that's like are going to be like, okay. And, like, that's just frustrating. So, it's a frustration I live with, and I didn't realize how much it was frustrating until yesterday when it kind of just came bursting forth. Wow, this video's long. I'm sorry. I have an actual list over here. I talked about those too. So I want to also talk about meditation. Part of the disassociation thing with my life is getting a little bit better with meditation. So I'm really excited that you got that Groupon thing for the yoga and meditation. I think you should definitely do it, because even though I'm suffering with this sense of kind of being disassociated, both from society and my friends as well as myself, I do feel that when I meditate, I am getting closer to being cohesive, like being a cohesive person, not just a mind and a body, but a mind and body. Which I don't feel like quite yet, but I feel like every time I practice meditation and mindful awareness and being mindful throughout my day, I get a little bit closer to that. So I'm excited for you to do that, and I hope you do it very soon. So yeah, this is a very long video. I'm sorry. I love you very much. I hope you have a great day. I'm looking forward to your video tomorrow, and I really want to know what's been going on with you, so I hope you make a long video too. Okay, I'm gonna go do the homework that I've been putting off for like hours now. I love you. Bye-bye. Bye. He wants to say bye. Say bye. Say bye. Bye.